Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends, as this video is brought to you by drroto.com.
Oh, baby. It's 9 p.m. Eastern on a Wednesday night. We've got drinks in our hand. That must mean it is time for Draft for Upside. First sip, the way too early look at the DFS main slate Sunday show. Chris, you heard I'm newly full-time employed by yet another brewery. You like that?
Yep, I sure do.
Yeah, Hayes is good. Hayes is good. I know you're a fan, so I'm excited. And next time you come to Michigan, we'll go to the brewery.
Is it going to be open on like Christmas Eve and Christmas? Like I might only be there for like 2 days, so I might have to.
I'll just ask for the keys. It's fine.
All right,
trust me. They trust me. I'm pretty sure
it's either that or we'll just drink in your garage or something.
No, that's fine. We can do that too.
Right,
you can come inside. I have a fireplace. It's nice. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Last time it would have been the garage.
Yes, definitely the garage last time. But I hear you've taken a shower since then, so you can come inside this time.
Shower, a couple shots, all that good stuff.
Before we get into football, my friend, are you excited for more League of Legends at 1 a.m. Eastern?
Yeah, it's at 1 a.m. and it'll be done by 6 or 7. So,
nice.
I mean, that's like absolutely optimal for you, right? Like you can set it, forget it, you wake up and you know whether you won or you lost.
We're going to put some together tonight. So, maybe we'll do it live. Maybe we'll end this and then we'll come back and we'll build a couple lineups. Yeah,
we can look at that. I do have some thoughts. I got to put some bets in. I'm going to do a betting challenge. I'm going to basically bet on every single game of the Nest and see what I can come up with.
I dig it. Well, I think we should. I think we should end this, go right back live and just casually talk about League of Legends. So,
Yeah. We'll go live over on esports with Emmerich, YouTube. So
that sounds like a great idea. Well, let's talk football, my friend.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We have got, I don't know, I've lost track of what week it is. Week 10 coming up?
Yeah, I think it's week 10.
Yeah, week 10. Not so good last week.
No.
I think I lost 100% of entry. I don't think I even won crowns back.
No, I actually did better last week than I did the week before, I think. Nice. And it was just surprising. It was one of those where like you looked around and you just looked at the scores, and it started off like it was going to be good. Like I had a ton of Raiders, Giants game stacks, just like all different types. And yeah, they both scored on their first drive. I was like, all right, this game's going to pop off. And then just nothing ever happened. I had a ton of Cowboys money line in a bunch of parlays. And when they didn't convert those first two fourth downs, it was like, this is just doomed. But like everybody was doomed and everybody's scores were bad. But going into the late slate of games, I didn't have enough guys. So I knew I was ultra doomed. And I'll
tell you what, Chris, I just decided, right, that I play too big of a pool most weeks because I play a lot of dink and dunk games, right? So I was like, all right, what's the slam dunk? What's the slam dunk? Josh Allen is the slam dunk. So I'm going to put Allen with Diggs, then Allen with Beasley, then Allen with Sanders. And I'm just going to spread it around and mix the players in with those guys. And I'm going to condense my player pool. And I'm just going to rotate that around. Yeah, Josh Allen didn't work out for me, man. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to happen like that. Yeah. I mean, if it was just that easy to plug in the most expensive quarterback and just build 150 lineups with them, like people would be millionaires.
That's right.
But sometimes they're going to fail, and that is what it is. And it was one of those situations that I really liked Josh Allen, and I liked him a lot more than Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson's game environment, the game script, the way that it played out, just went so perfectly for what he needs to have a ceiling game. And that's, if you just look at it, you look at the games that he's just absolutely popped off this year, and they're always games where they fall behind and that he needs to bring them back.
Yeah, take over.
Yeah, like if they get out to a lead, it's a relatively close game. You don't really see that same type of accelerator put on by Lamar, at least from a fantasy points perspective. And so it was the perfect storm of things. And Josh Allen sacked Josh Allen. God, how many times did we have to hear that? I just honestly, I wanted Chris Hansen to show up and be like, "What's up, Chris Hansen?" And then just that would have been amazing. But like, I was so annoyed by it.
I tell you what, dude. Like seriously, what was I doing Sunday? I don't know. I was away from the TV Sunday. I wasn't watching, and I just kept having this. My sports app just kept popping up. Josh Allen, big play. Josh Allen, big play. And I'm like, yes, this day is going well for me. And then I looked it up, and it was the wrong effing Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, man, they were just besides themselves. And then like Adam Schefter posted like, "Oh, blah blah blah. Have you heard this?" And like somebody else like, "Yeah, we're on Twitter, dude. Yeah. Like we've all heard. Like we all know.
Watching TV, everybody. Yeah. Anyways, let's just move on. Let's get at this week 10, shall we? Let's just rock and roll. Let's just get going. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit bigger here. We're going to talk about a few things. I lost my place. Hold on. What game do we want to go to first? Well, let's just look at the one that's staring at us. How about that? Tampa Bay heading over to Washington football team. Brady's top dog again, man. We're halfway through the season, and he is QB1 on the year, man. Crushing. Is this man going to play till he's like 48? What's the deal here?
I don't know, but let's talk about this game. This is at first glance, this should be a smash game. This is a game that I went over with Lou, on his radio show. We talked about it. I love Brady. I love Heineke on the other side of things because there are, some really expensive running backs that I do like. And, putting in Tom Brady is going to kind of prohibit playing them to some extent, but playing Taylor Heineke could really open it up. And Tampa, as good as they've been throwing the ball, has been bad at defending the pass. But I do hesitate. I've been burned so many times in the last 2 weeks. I could totally see this just being a complete letdown game where both of the defenses just take over and all of the ownership is here. Can you not? What it comes down to in a lot of cases for the NFL and football, just real football, not actual fantasy football, these guys aren't, the disparity in talent's not really that big. Like the disparity of a really bad team and a really good team, it's not as big as it is, let's say, in college football. So the reality is that Tampa Bay can come play flat. Washington can come playing their best game, and Washington can win this game, from a defensive side of things. And that scares me. It shouldn't scare me. I'm going to play a ton of Tom Brady, but it's in the back of my mind.
Yeah, my theory this week is to play all the games that I shouldn't play. That's what I'm doing. So if I play this game, it's stacking the Washington side.
Yeah, I think you can, and then you just pick one of the spots. So the challenge, though, is that you have to then pick one of your spots from Tampa Bay. Is it going to be Antonio Brown? Is it going to be Chris Godwin? Is it going to be Mike Evans? Finally, we've seen Chris Godwin become the most expensive of the quartet of weapons there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I have to dig into a little bit and kind of see what Washington has given up. I lean towards Godwin. I think that he's the guy that could pop off that 7 catches for 160 yards and touchdown game. Evans can always catch 2. He's their big red zone guy. But 7,100 is just not enough to make me worry about Godwin at all. It's a great price.
Yeah, and the big thing is it's not just touchdowns that this team, the Washington football team, is giving up. It's yards. So only, I think, the Titans have given up more. And I think that maybe there's a couple other that are right around there. The Saints have given up a little bit more, but they're all right in that range. So the Washington football team giving up a bunch of yards, giving up touchdowns. It's just, this is an exciting game. But it is going to be in Washington. It's not the ideal time of the year for it. So there are certainly a lot of ways this game can fail, I guess.
For sure. All right. Well, let's get back and talk about Mr. Josh Allen. He's got another supposed cupcake matchup here against the Jets. His prices come down. His bit pieces prices are depressed. Beasley's still at only like 52. I mean, I'm going to jump right back in, me and everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem is like you really want to play running backs against the Jets. That has been the bonanza. I mean, as bad as the Lions have been, the Jets have been like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
And like you just can't really feasibly play Moss or play Singletary. I guess you can in big GPPs, and that, might be the play between those two guys, but they weren't able to run the ball against Jacksonville. This is a much easier matchup. Not that Jacksonville is difficult, but like who's really going to get any type of run between those two guys? So I don't know. Maybe you lean towards Singletary. It's difficult because they're so similar in their shares of this offense.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to think Singletary was kind of like that Gordon guy that got the ball between the 20s. I don't know how true that's been. It's been kind of tough. Moss has been a little hurt here or there. Yeah, I mean, 4,700 for a guy that could pop off a couple long runs. It's kind of sexy, but like I think Buffalo's defense got embarrassed and they just come in and lock this game out.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, is Mike White supposed to be back? I think
that's what I heard.
Think that he is. So who knows? Maybe he lights him up. Maybe we get a bunch of Michael Carter action at 5,600.
Yeah.
The new Mike and Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to touch some Buffalo in this game. If it's not like a main stack, yeah, you can't help but drop some pieces in your lineup.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks we've had some really bad slates, like tough matchups. Like by the time Sunday rolls around, you talk yourself into a couple of plays. But I think a lot of these games, just glancing at them, are extremely juicy, and there's a lot of places that you can go to, and I think a lot of the ownership is going to be spread out as a result.
For sure. All right, let's talk about the next game on the slate right here. We got Atlanta heading over to Dallas. The Cowboys, I think, are 9-point favorites here, 54.5. So they're expecting some fireworks here. What do you think of Atlanta after their week without Ridley? That shakeout kind of how you thought it would?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Cordell Patterson would be the guy that kind of stepped up, him and Kyle Pitts. And I think that's going to be the case. With this Atlanta defense, they have been pretty susceptible to the run. So I kind of expect Dallas to more so do what we thought they did or were going to do last week against Denver, which they didn't, and run the ball. And whether that's with Zeke, if he's too injured, maybe you get a little bit of Tony Pollard, a little bit more than normal. But Cordell Patterson still at 6,600. It's a great play. That whole wide receiving quartet from Dallas is one that you have to figure out. Michael Gallup probably coming back, right? CeeDee Lamb a little banged up, but are they going to really need to pass the ball that much? Maybe they will. Like when it comes down to it, Matt Ryan's been pretty fantastic since week one. So, maybe this Atlanta team comes out, puts up some yardage, and Dallas has to keep up.
Yeah, the Dallas offense, disappointing. It's been disappointing. There's some people last week calling for Cooper Rush to come back. I think that's a little rash. People. Give Dak a little time. I'm super interested in Elliott again. I kind of like when Elliott is expected to have big games and fail, and then coming right back at him.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how ownership runs out in all of these games, because there's going to be some guys that we're going to talk about that are really, really much more interesting than Ezekiel Elliott, but they're a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. 7K Zeke. I mean, you know what? For the last year and a half, he hasn't really been worth the top price. So it's been okay to see him down there, but he still is capable of those games to rip off 120 and 2-3 touchdowns. So when you have that ability in a guy at 7K, you kind of have to think about him here or there. Yeah, I don't know. It's a game I'll have to look into. Let's keep moving on. Let's talk about New Orleans and Tennessee. We saw Adrian Peterson kind of salvage his day for the people who needed him last week with a little late game touchdown. He really wasn't impressive. He was exactly kind of what we thought he was going to be, plotting old man. But he's going to get the touches. Is he going to get the touches again?
I mean, I don't even care if he does. That's
sure.
I'm not interested against the Saints defense. I think that they're actually pretty good, despite what we saw last week. Cordell Patterson's a different animal. This game doesn't hold a ton of interest to me. I think that the word on the street is that Alvin Kamara is a little bit banged up. They brought in some guys in New Orleans. I went and picked up Mark Ingram where he was available, and I don't think I really have a ton of interest. I mean, I guess Mark Ingram at 4,500 is really interesting if Kamara is like ruled out or something like that. But yeah. I don't know if it's that serious.
I don't know. I mean,
he didn't practice today. He didn't practice. There's a lot of rumors. I mean, they just picked up Ingram, and then they're bringing in practice squad guys from around the league. Mm-hmm. It's a little strange. This could be one of those situations where Kamara's active, but like game time decision, he dresses. He plays the first couple of snaps, and then we kind of see him go away. We've seen that happen sometimes with
coaches who think they're smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, look, there's going to be a lot of decisions to make in terms of this running back position. We haven't got to some of them. I mean, I think somehow you've danced around some of the least sexy games in terms of running back options.
I'm not dancing around anything, man. I'm just going left to right across the screen.
I know, and it's funny how that works out. Like Mark Ingram, like at 4,500 though, becomes absolutely a highly considered play against a Tennessee rush defense that's, you know, not bad, but not very good either. And at 4,500, it's a great play, but there's others around that price too. So I don't know. This one's kind of a wait and see for me.
For sure. Man, AJ Brown, I just want him to be healthy. I just miss how exciting he was to watch last year. I need him back, buddy. I need him back. I've got him in seasonal in a bunch of places. I need him back.
I mean, he's been pretty exciting this year, and he didn't really need to be on the game against the Rams because the Rams didn't do anything to necessitate it. He still got 11 targets that day. So
yeah. All right. Jacksonville heading to Indianapolis. This is one you're looking forward to. I know it.
Yeah, I mean, this really is. When you look you look at the usage that Jonathan Taylor has been getting over the last couple weeks. I mean, we're talking 19, 16, 18, 14, 15, you know, just a touchdown in every game, 2 in like 3 of those. So, I mean, this guy has just been absolutely on fire. This Jacksonville defense, you know, I think people might elevate them a little bit higher in their minds and get away from Jonathan Taylor because there is some value to go to thinking about this Jacksonville game against Buffalo. But the thing is, Buffalo can't run, and Buffalo's offensive line is not nearly as good as Indianapolis's. And I just expect Jonathan Taylor to have a fantastic game. And 8,100, you're paying for it, though. You are paying for it, and you're hoping that he does have one of these big games because otherwise you're in a bad spot. But no Derrick Henry. We're probably not playing Alvin Kamara. So, you know, the premium running back position is kind of a Jonathan Taylor type thing.
I dig it, man. If you end up, you know, getting on the Ingram play and you got Jonathan Taylor at 81, Ingram at 45, that's only 12.6. That's 6.3 average for your 2 running backs. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, there's another running back that we're probably a little more attracted to around that cheap price, though.
I mean, I kind of like starting my lineup right here. I mean, look at this. Carson Wentz at 59. Come on. Carson Wentz, Pittman, Taylor. Just start right there and load it up and hope all the touchdowns happen in those 3 plays.
Yeah, I don't mind playing any of these pieces or all of them.
Yeah. Dig it. Let's keep moving. All right, what we got next? Oh, baby. We got I went too far. We got the Detroit Lions. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't even want to watch this game. I'm not going to lie.
Well, look, this is going to be another one of those games. It has a high-priced running back that I'm super interested in. It's Najee Harris. There's nobody else that gets the workload that he does. And, you know, we're attracted to those high teens carries from Jonathan Taylor. You know that Najee Harris is going to get 20-plus carries, let alone a couple targets in the receiving game. And I fully expect him to break 100 yards, probably get a touchdown, and you know, I think he's going to be the overlooked play. Maybe Jonathan Taylor is. I don't know. One of those 2 guys is not going to get the attention that they deserve, and whichever one it is, or maybe both of them, that's kind of where I'm going to go. And I think it's probably the way that I start some of my FanDuel lineups.
I think it. Yeah, I mean, I like some pieces out of this game. I just don't want to physically watch this game because these 2 teams are a disaster. It's going to be painful football.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, this is a strange week in the sense that, like, when I ran the Sims, usually you get a mixture of running backs and wide receivers that pop it as likely to be in the optimal, even early in the week like this. And it's like all running backs up top, man. The first wide receiver is like 7 down, and it's Mike Evans. Josh Allen's the optimal quarterback, but you've got some of these guys that we've mentioned, Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris. Yeah, we'll get into some of these other ones, but yeah, it's an interesting way to look at this.
Yeah, I thought I had a thought there, but then I did not. So we're just going to.
Yeah, I thought I might have lost you. I don't have.
No, I
was going to go look the other window. I'm like, oh my god.
I had something brewing there. And I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and move on. All right, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns heading to New England. There is just an absolute litany of question marks popping up on the screen right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the game. All right, you got Dearness Johnson coming back.
Oh,
ready to make his second start.
Yeah, I never left him off the lineups that I managed to pick him up on. So he's still there. I like that. Obviously, I want Chubb to play because I like him better. But if he doesn't, I'm pretty happy, especially in DFS with 47. Of course, he's probably going to be like 63% owned.
Yeah, I think like 30 to 40. He's number one in the Sims in terms of optimal rate, like 33%. This isn't like an easy matchup for him. So I guess that gives you kind of an out, but at 4,700, it's man, it's really hard to fail. And it's not like this is a hard matchup either. When I say it's not like an easy, it's not the Lions, it's not the Eagles, it's not the Jets, but this New England defense has been pretty forgiving for running backs. 26 against the Panthers, 33 against the Chargers, 30 against the Jets. So he's just in a spot where he should absolutely smash.
Oh, I agree. And there's actually another running back in this game, and Brandon Bolden, that I'm kind of interested in seeing how the question marks for the concussions that are going on between Stevenson and Harris. Bolden looked good. He's looked good like 3 weeks in a row, and he's still 4,400. He's encapsulated that James White role, and he's a better runner than James White was too. So I'm keeping an eye on him for 44.
Yeah, the challenge is Stevenson's getting a lot of run, and he's looked good. Damian Harris is getting all like kind of the goal line looks and scores touchdowns, makes use of it. So it's really hard to trust any one of these guys in this backfield unless like two of them are already ruled out. So
Stevenson has not returned to practice from concussion protocol.
Well, I mean, hey, then that helps. But what's the deal with Damian Harris?
And Harris did not return to practice from concussion protocol.
Well, yeah, if both of those guys are out, then then you're.
That's what I'm saying. Even if one of them is out, Bolden's a nice play at 44.
Yeah, absolutely. If both of them are out, then like, man, what a week this is going to be. What a week. A 4,700 chalk, a 4,400 chalk running back. Like, it's just going to be disgusting. Yeah, super looking forward to it as we talk about this. Let's get in the afternoon games.
Let's get right to it, man. How about Minnesota at LA? We don't need to touch on the Adrian Peterson news, just that, we cover fantasy for any purposes. Yes, Dalvin Cook. What he's going to play. I mean, there's no reason he's not going to play unless something changes in the news. But as of right now, there is nothing that's going to keep him out of the game. So don't be firing up Alexander Mattison quite yet.
But I mean, Dalvin Cook, he's at a great price too. I mean, only 8,000. This is, against the Chargers team that's terrible against the run. Austin Eckler down at 7,600. This is a good price for him too. I don't like them as much as some of those other running backs that we've talked about, but I think both of these guys absolutely should be in your consideration. Both of them have really good matchups. Austin Eckler just tends to excel in games that have 75 plays or more. We've seen this Minnesota team, have 80 and 90 plays themselves, really extend the games and have situations where, Austin Eckler and this Chargers offense could excel on the other side of things. So I mean, look, I really like this game as a kind of a sneaky one. I think it's going to go under owned just on the basis of some of those other ones that we've talked about. And I love Mike Williams at 6,600. I mean, how can you not?
You have to. Yeah, I like this game a lot. You know me, I like the afternoon games. I feel like they almost are always under owned. And I dig it. Thielen's perfectly fine. Williams is perfectly fine. I don't know. Jefferson at 77. The guy's capable of these big games, but he has not looked the same this year.
I just don't think they've been getting in the ball. He hasn't had like double-digit targets in a while, not nearly the same way. I think the way that you beat this Chargers team, though, is on the ground, and I just, that's how Minnesota wants to play. So
yeah,
I like Cook at 8,000.
I can get behind it. Carolina heading over to Arizona. I have not been keeping up on Kyler Murray news this week. Have you heard much about that yet? It's early, of course.
He's still questionable. He didn't practice today. But the real thing is that Chase Edmonds looks doubtful. So we get another week, full bore James Conner.
63.
Yeah, but against Carolina defense that I think's pretty decent against the run. And I like James Conner. Man, we're just going to really have to think about some of these things. And when the ownership comes out and where people are heading, make adjustments based off of that. But this Carolina defense has been fairly stout. They've shown some cracks the last couple of weeks as teams have just pounded the ball and really haven't had any other type of dynamic offense against them. And that may very well be the same thing that Arizona's going to have to do as Kyler Murray's not in. So,
yeah, I feel like this game is destined to be incredibly slow paced. You've got Darnold out. They're going to try to keep the ball in McCaffrey's hands. You've got Hopkins dinged up. You've got Edmonds dinged up. You've got Murray dinged up. This is going to be a running game between McCaffrey and Connor and super, super slow. I'm a total pass on this game.
So basically, based off from what you told me when we started this, you're going to game stack it. This is it. This is the game.
Exactly correct. I'm going to go through this, find everything I hated, and I'm playing only those games.
Yeah, this is the game then. This is it.
Yeah. I am not interested in this game, dude. Like, just not at all. Maybe Christian Kirk if Hopkins stays out, like, because he seems to kind of be the dude. But no, I'm out. All right, Philadelphia and Denver. I don't know, man. Like, I've played a little Philly here or there. It's usually Jalen Hurts alone. I've stayed away almost exclusively from Denver, except for the week I thought Jerry Jeudy was going to run away with the world, and he didn't. I don't know what to make with this backfield in Philadelphia. No idea. Every week, I think it's going to be one guy, and it's totally another guy. Is Howard even on the 53-man roster yet?
So look, there's a play in this game that I love, just because of the price and what he can do. But Cortland Sutton at 5,600 just feels like a fantastic discount for a guy that nobody's going to own that can absolutely go for 25, 30 points.
Sure. All right. I'm going to write that down. It's the first name I'm going to write down on the show tonight. That's it.
All right. Cortland Sutton. There you go.
That's it. Cortland Sutton. That's my guy. I don't know, man. Like, we get asked in the members Discord all the time about these Philadelphia running backs, and I just don't have answers for it anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
It's like Howard has had 2 amazing games, and he still is technically on their practice squad only. Like, they haven't even signed him. They haven't even made any press conference. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation. Sanders might be back. It's weird. It's all weird. I got nothing there. Let's talk about Seattle Green Bay. Let's go ahead and assume that Rodgers is going to clear protocol and play. Let's assume Russell Wilson is back. With the questions of those 2 things, do you think those players and their surrounding cast go overlooked? And is this a place you are looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can take pieces out of it. With Russ around, that they've never really been able to double stack with success in terms of Lockett and DK Metcalf. Aaron Jones just seems to be a guy that people want to do well, and he does well in certain situations, but they're using AJ Dillon more, and Aaron Jones is just never unleashed unless he does it, breaks off a huge run and it just is the hot hand the rest of the game. So I'm probably not going to have very much of this game. I think Devontae Adams at 7,900 is always in play, but just at first glance, I don't have a ton of interest here.
I don't know. I think maybe Lou said it in our chat that if Rodgers clears, he's going to go crazy because he's just going to be angry and throw 4 or 5 touchdown game. I could see it. 7,100 is not too much to pay. People might be scared off of rostering it early because he probably won't come out and say it till last minute on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Follow the news there. And Chris Carson might be back as well.
But look, I mean, it's one of those narratives that I fall into it. People say it all the time. Like, this guy's going to be so mad he's going to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. Look, man, if it was that easy, he'd come out and throw 4 or 5 touchdowns every single week. It's just not that easy. That's right. Not how it works.
It could against Seattle's D, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if he could throw 4 or 5 touchdowns, he would throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns. I don't think it has anything to do with him being mad or anything like that. I just look, if the guy wants to do it, he's going to do it. He's motivated to do it. They're all motivated to make things happen. So
yeah. No, I kind of like Rodgers and Adams. I do.
I think they're always playable. There's nothing wrong with going to those two guys on any given week.
Yeah. We'll see. That's all we got, man. We did it. Hooray to us.
All right. Well, let's end the show and then let's go over to the Esports with Emmerich YouTube channel and we'll talk a little bit of LOL.
I like that as well. If you have been watching and you are interested in keeping up with the rest of the stuff going on at drroto.com, please go over there. We've got all kinds of things. We've got cheat sheets. We've got lineup optimizers. We've got special plays of the week. We've got Chris Emmerich's article. We've got Doc's article. You name it, it's there. We also have a subscription that only gets you into the premium Discord for $9.99 a month. And you can ask us questions. And it's mostly me and Chris in there answering those questions. So if you like us, get in there. We'll answer your personal questions. Anyways, I'm Danger. And this is Chris Emmerich. And we will catch you back at Esports with Emmerich's YouTube page in about 5 minutes or so and go over LOL. We'll see you then.
Let's do it.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well,